Hello, my English 102 students. Welcome to our fall semester, and I'm putting together this brief, well, kind of brief, video lecture just to go over academic writing structure. A lot of this will be review for you coming in from 101. But I thought it'd be good for us just to kind of check this baseline and make sure that we have like a good foundation for that. And some of this, again, might just be reminders for you of like how a basic academic essay is put together. Keep in mind, I'm going to have a little response that's due at the end of the week along with watching the video. So make sure you might, make sure you check in with that and kind of understand what that's asking too. And then we'll kind of take it from there. This is kind of a weird little setup here for this Prezi, so I'm going to move on to our main presentation here. So I want to kind of just check in with the characteristics of academic writing that we need to be mindful of as we're putting together any essay we do for this course. So just a reminder that we're usually presenting our academic writing in a narrative form. So sentences building on paragraphs and then building on the essay. It's not reports, it's not lists, it's not anything else but that narrative form structure. We're ultimately telling a story about our research or about our argument or about our discoveries. So we want to keep that in mind. We want to use formal and complex language. So keep that in mind as well. You focus on one driving idea, which becomes your thesis, and that's built upon throughout the essay. So we don't want to bring in multiple ideas or switch positions or points of view in the middle of the essay. Really want that one driving idea, and we're kind of building on it and sort of, kind of growing that sort of nucleus of the idea into the essay. It's founded on a basis of convincing evidence. So in some cases, this will be scholarly research, studies, gathered facts. It might be information you gather from other sources to help you understand certain concepts, as well as your own observations, and then what we might see in this course, interviews. Also could be visual content. So we'll talk a little bit about that. It's based on a structure born from composition's early relationship to law. So a lot of the academic essay and its origins come from the fact that many people went to law school in the 1800s when this sort of format of writing came forward, and then composition and the way we do it with English just kind of kept that tradition alive. So we tend to think of academic essays almost like court cases. And then we want to demonstrate thoughtful analysis and critical thinking of topic or text. So all important just to remember whenever you're putting together, your essay, to be thinking about whether or not it meets these baseline characteristics of what we're looking for. Some key goals of academic writing: engaging in extensive research and showing findings. In a lot of ways, the academic essay is just the tip of an iceberg of all of the research and exploration and deep and critical thinking we've done. And then we demonstrate qualifiable learning. So it's a chance for you to show your ability to think through ideas, connect dots on different ideas. And it also improves communication, so how well you're able to convey your thoughts, ideas, opinions, arguments. That's kind of a key goal for us. And then I also add contribute to the academy. There are several times where students' essays become sample essays. Sometimes students get work published in different ways. So we do like to think of whenever a student is writing an essay in a course at a college like Coconino Community College, that we also want to think about how that's playing a role in contributing to potentially the academy as we're working on those. Basic structure, just remember, I'm going to be looking for a compelling and insightful title before you submit. So it shouldn't just be analysis. It should be whatever you looked at and maybe some thoughtful idea about that in the title. So we'll be looking for that. The introduction should be attention grabbing. It should really set the stage for your essay. For all the essays we write this semester, would like to see you figure out a way to make the most exciting case for us to jump into this topic. So we'll be, and sometimes that's challenging, but we'll be kind of working through that. We do need some context or background. We want to get the reader oriented. We don't want to assume that they know everything about the topic. And then we want that thesis statement, that driving idea. Usually it's a sentence. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3. But typically we want that really strong sentence that just lands, the sort of core of what this essay is about. And it should be really high up because we want the reader to understand like what's to come and what this essay is really supposed to do. Sometimes we see additional background in a second paragraph. I would say a lot of times we might try to incorporate that in the introduction if it's not too clunky. But sometimes it's nice to maybe, if we need to sort of give more context, to kind of have that in another paragraph if needed. Also, we just want to make sure we have those body paragraphs that build on the core argument. The premises support the main idea. We call these premises topic sentences, similar to a thesis, but they introduce the premise or prong of an argument or position. And that topic sentence is usually the first sentence in the paragraph or very near the top. So we understand what we're going to look at. Then we typically are presenting evidence. Maybe it's scholarly articles, maybe it's research of others, maybe it's our personal findings, observations, could be undisputable facts, other supporting information, and then explanation on that evidence, how it supports the premise prong of the argument. And then basic structure ends with a conclusion. We're going to summarize that thesis in a new language. We're also want to unify all those main points of the essay in a way that really drives it home. We want to connect all those dots. We want to sort of explain sort of holistically what our argument represents. Make sure that conclusion just isn't 2 or 3 sentences. That's like, so there you go. There's the essay. We really want to make it clear where we're landing and how that is all coming together. So basically, every essay you should submit in this course should have a compelling title, a strong opener, should give the reader context, should have a thesis, should provide some kind of background, and then in the body paragraphs, premises, evidence, analysis, and a conclusion. And we have to think about it, and again, when we're doing argumentative structure, we have to think about like that we're almost trying this case in like a courtroom. We have to think about it in that way, like at least in spirit. It's not exactly like that, but that's a way to process it. So that's really kind of some basics of how we're going to look at the structure of the academic essay. Because we're in 102, we might be experimenting a little bit with the order or with the scaffolding that we see with your traditional academic essay, especially as we get into revisions and as we get into our multimodal project, which is also going to look quite a bit different. We might see some of this change. But I think it's good for us to start with this baseline. We should have these elements in our essay in some way or form. I'll just keep sort of reinforcing that through my comments back to you and through our work in the course. And if you ever have any questions, please let me know. Happy to help you out. All right, thanks so much for your time, and we'll chat soon.